ain't no competition. Nah, I ain't tripping. All the boys kinda moving to my flow. Now the girls got them dropping low. Going through the most cause they ain't afraid to grow. Coast to the coast, I'ma hit your radio. Feeling body every day. I know that. Now I'm finally on my way. I know that. I've been on my gun, I've been feeling myself. I do it all for me, not for nobody else. I'm looking what I see. Hit different. When a little mama got a big vision. Hit different. Aiming high, baby, I go the distance. I've been putting in work, putting in time, putting me first. Now my whole life. Hit different. With the bang, ready. Hit different. Ooh, over there, who's the hot one with the long hair? Looky. Ooh, that's me. Mirror, showing I'm a bad bitch. And I don't see the girl that I felt. So down and out on the self. A total mind and body globe down in every cell. Living it up, right up. And I'ma go and kill it, cause this is what I do. Dreaming about it every day. I know that. Now I'm finally on my way. I know that. I've been on my gun, I've been feeling myself. I do it all for me, not for nobody else. I'm looking what I see. Hit different. When a little mama got a big vision. Hit different. Aiming high, baby, I go the distance. I've been putting in work, putting in time, putting me first. Now my whole life. Hit different. With the bang, with the bang. Boom, 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 bang. Boom, bada, boom, bada. Hit different. Boom, bang. Boom, bada, boom, bada. Hit different. Coming in hot, I'ma get in it. Got you feeling that bass when I'm hitting it. With the bang. Hit different. When a little mama got a big vision. Hit different. Aiming high, baby, I go the distance. I've been putting in work, putting in time, putting me first. Now my whole life. Hit different. With the bang, ready. Hit different. Say imitation is the highest form of flattery. Well, I guess using that equation, you must really fucking love me. Now I can bang you on the shit. Check the fit. Got you maxing out the visa, tryna cop the vision. Tryna be over everyone can see. You're the cheapo repo pizza, and I'm the Mona Lisa. You're talking while I'm walking by. Look a little green, I know you're dead. Now you want what's mine, so take my advice. Get alive. Love me or hate me, but you're still super shady. Got my name on the daily, but you wanna be just like me. I ain't so fakey, want a piece of this cakey. I'm a superstar, baby. Yeah, you wanna be just like me. Wanna be, wanna be. Just like me. Wanna be, just like me. Niggas got me faced. Get up on my lane. I'm a Saki, you're a taste. I can be replaced. I'm a shred. Check the fit. You're the cheapo repo pizza, and I'm the Mona Lisa. You're talking while I'm walking by. Look a little green, I know you're dead. Now you want what's mine, so take my advice. Get alive. Love me or hate me, but you're still super shady. Got my name on the daily, but you wanna be just like me. I ain't so fakey, want a piece of this cakey. I'm a superstar, baby. Yeah, you wanna be just like me. Wanna be, wanna be. Wanna be just like me. Wanna be, wanna be. Just like me. Wanna be, wanna be. Wanna be just like me. Hey. shoulders, the heels, the hips. Hit your screen, and baby, now you're mine. Love on me, hate on me, you can get me off your mind. What I got to the top, some tryna cop how I pop, but they almost call it. I'll be tagging millies while you watch me. Sorry, but I ain't sorry. Stare all you want, get what you need. Just know the show is never free. Give me your good, ugly or bad, I still get the bag. Looky at my face, but you wanna taste. Got a lot to say, but you can't look away, babe. Sucky, hey, make you wanna play. Yeah, you wanna hit it good, wanna hit it like I'm clickbait. Like it, or you don't, I'm gonna get money, make it on the internet. You can call it fake, you can go and hate, but you wanna hit it good, wanna hit it like I'm clickbait. Help me put my money in a big bag, you gon' get me paid. Put your head and replay, got my name in your tongue, stepping all of this cake, it can eat it no crumbs. Do how I do it and let it do what it does. Love on me, hate on me, you can get enough, baby. Got a black without a degree, got a mag cause I'm VIP, run it back and you feel the heat. I play the game and y'all want it, so I ain't crying over comments. Stare all you want, get what you need. Just know the show is never free. Give me your good, ugly or bad, I still get the bag. Looky at my face, but you wanna taste. Got a lot to say, but you can't look away, babe. Sucky, hey, make you wanna play. Yeah, you wanna hit it good, wanna hit it like I'm clickbait. Like it, or you don't, I'm gonna get money, make it on the internet. You can call it fake, you can go and hate, but you wanna hit it good, wanna hit it like I'm clickbait. Ooh, it's a little sad, it's gotta be this way. That you're bitter with the mirror, so you come for me. Looky at my face, but you wanna taste. Got a lot to say, but you can't look away, babe. Sucky, hey, make you wanna play. Yeah, you wanna hit it good, wanna hit it like I'm clickbait. Like it, or you don't, I'm gonna get money, make it on the internet. You can call it fake, you can go and hate, but you wanna hit it good, wanna hit it like I'm clickbait. Help me put my money in a big bag, you gon' get me paid. Help me put my money in the fat stack, you gon' get me paid.
Welcome back to this channel. It's Resident Internet Second Medium Spiritual Advisor, Mr. Crane. How you guys doing? I have no idea who I'm going to catch today, or if I'm going to catch any of you at all, on account of the fact that this is not my normal streaming time. I'm never on at this time. Also, Fridays are also just in general a really bad time for me to post in general. My analytics don't like it. They do not like me posting on Fridays. So I have absolutely no idea who this is going to reach or who's going to catch it. But I had a message, so I'm just going to go share that. And I don't know how long it is or how long this video is going to be. Or yeah, I wasn't expecting to be here either. Surprise! Double feature, I guess. But no, something came in, like a download came in, and I thought about whether or not I should wait until next week, but it just felt like I just needed to say it now, maybe because I was going to forget about it. I'm not actually really sure. So we'll see how long I'm here. And maybe it's just this and then I'm back out. I don't know. It is Friday. Hey, never caught one of your lives. So excited. Oh, hi. Well, I'm usually not live on Fridays. I'm listening at work. Take your time. Oh, that's so funny. Don't let them see you. Yay, I'm excited to catch this. Oh, you guys. Hey, I was expecting a live from you today. I wasn't. It wasn't a plan. It literally was a message that came in, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna put it up live, and we'll see who catches it and like who does it. I don't know. So good seeing you again, Auntie. I needed this. Oh, you guys are so sweet. So, okay, literally what came in. So this is like weirdly collective energy. It was something that I had experienced. And when I was like processing through my experience, it just felt like, oh, I think this would be beneficial if I shared it, because I was processing something that I was going through. And I thought that it could be a different take that could potentially be useful or helpful for somebody else. Excited to catch this. I hope you're doing great. I am doing great. That's actually going to be like part of what I was going to talk about. Okay, let me just go into it, right? So anyway, I had a run-in with someone, and it wasn't like a bad run-in or anything like that. But I noticed that this person's mood was just like down. And then I was thinking about it and then realized that every time I have a run-in with this person's mood is down. Like, do you know people that like always have problems? Like every time you talk to them, they have a problem. Like every time you're like, how are you? They can very quickly and easily start listing off all the things that are not right with them, or like telling you all their problems or something else that has gone wrong, right? Like this person that I was like had this run-in with, like they are someone that has like this sort of permanent frown on their face. Like their face is always frowning. So much so that like I thought it was interesting. I thought it was like peculiar. And they're not old. So it's not like age lines. It's like because they're always used to frowning, they have these lines like around their mouth that even when they have a neutral face, they still look like they're frowning. And I happen to notice that whenever I ask them how are they doing, that I have never heard them say, I'm fine. Like not even like I'm good. Like I'm way past the idea of them being good, right? But I've never heard them say I'm fine or I'm okay or meh. Like they've never even given me that. Like it's always problems. Like a list of problems. Oh, this went wrong and this went wrong and this went wrong and this went wrong. And I noticed that like when they would talk to me about it, I could never really identify with their experience. Like they would talk about what they perceived to be a problem, but in my mind, when I would listen to the story, I would think, I don't really understand what the big deal is. I don't actually see that as being a problem. And then what ended up happening was I was thinking about that person today, and then I was overwhelmed with like compassion, because this person also isn't necessarily the most pleasant person that I've ever met. Like, I don't like dislike the person. I just have noticed that I don't necessarily particularly found them pleasant. Like, if I was going to throw a party, they wouldn't be on the list because I feel like they'd be like a Debbie Downer. I don't dislike them, but like, they don't necessarily bring anything to my world either. So it's that kind of thing. But I was thinking about them and I was just overwhelmed with compassion. And I thought, how awful must it be to live a life like that, where your whole reality and your only perspective is problems, so much so that it now wears on your face before you've aged, that the only way you see the world is as a problem. And I remember feeling like, man, like that person must need a hug. Because the one thing is like the way you show up and the way you're received externally by people, like is what's going on inside, right? Like it's not possible for you on the outside to be bah humbug, but then on the inside be upbeat and happy and optimistic. That's not possible. But the thing is, what we show outwardly is only a fraction of what's actually going on internally. So if we're showing misery outwardly, suddenly I felt all this compassion because I was like, you must be really miserable internally, because I'm only going to see 20% of what you're actually thinking, of what you're actually seeing, of what you're actually feeling, of what you're actually experiencing. And even though I don't necessarily find you particularly pleasant, there is no way that you would find yourself pleasant, because what is that internal experience that you have managed to manifest a permanent frown on your face, right? And, you know, this person, they can be kind of quick with their words. They can be a little rude and different things like that. But suddenly I was like, well, of course they are. They're not like they're miserable, right? And like not miserable in a bad way, but like because of how they're seeing the world. And I thought, how interesting is that? Because some people do see the world full of problems. And I went, hold on, wait a minute. And I was like, because I highly doubt it's a them problem. This is probably a collective problem. It's not just one person that's experiencing these things, right? And what I realized was, all right, well, now I got to get to him. Now I got to go live because I was like, we're going to fix this before we go into the weekend. We're not going into a 3-day weekend with this kind of attitude. And what I would like to offer is that, and follow the bouncing ball. Work with me here because I may say it at first and it may not click, okay? You only have problems if you perceive what is happening to you as a problem. Problems are defined by you. There is nothing that is an inherent problem. Something only becomes a problem if you have looked at something, identified it, and then defined it as a problem. The majority of things that you will experience in life will at best be an inconvenience. The majority of times, what's really happening is that you feel inconvenienced, not that there is a problem. You were doing something, you were working on something, you were moving in a certain way, something happened, it stopped you or slowed you down, and then you interpreted that as a problem when really what occurred was you were inconvenienced. And what happens is when you define something as a problem, you give it power over you, right? We have to start downgrading what we see things to be. Everything that occurs in the universe has a purpose. Nothing is redundant. The universe doesn't operate with redundancies, right? Anything that happens to be created that's redundant is immediately destroyed. Nothing is a redundancy. So you are coming across something and you're feeling like it's making you feel a little bit sticky. It's making you feel a little bit restricted. You're feeling some resistance. You're feeling some challenge. What is happening is that you are now experiencing something that is now giving you an opportunity for growth. And until you say, okay, let me go ahead and take this lesson, or let me go ahead and observe this thing that I'm supposed to see, right? Because not everything is a lesson. Some things are just supposed to be observed, right? We think everything is a lesson. Not everything is a lesson. It's just observe it, right? But unless you do one of those two things, it's going to happen again. And then what do people do? They go, I got all these problems. The same problem keeps happening to me over and over and over again. It's because you're not learning a lesson or you're not observing what needs to be observed. And so it's going to repeat itself because nothing is redundant. Everything has a purpose. And this literally goes for anything. Like if you are at work and you're dealing with someone who is really hard to get along with, right? Where is the opportunity for growth in that experience? Is the opportunity for you to stand up for yourself more, speak up for yourself more? Is that opportunity potentially leaving and going to find an environment that will appreciate you a lot more? But there's an opportunity somewhere that's there. Where is the opportunity? Because someone taught me this, it was about a year ago, right? If you don't identify and then take that opportunity will then be presented to you again, right? So let's say it is a workplace scenario. You feel like you're being confronted, you're being challenged, whether or not it's by a situation or it's by a person. And then instead of dealing with it there, you then go, oh, I'm leaving. And then what happens is that in the next work environment, you then meet new people, but then the situation recreates itself because you did not take whatever the opportunity was. But everything is just an opportunity for growth. It's just an opportunity for some kind of learning. And you also have to remember that like energy attracts like energy. So if you start identifying everything as a problem, everything as a challenge, because like attracts like, you will then manifest another experience that you then identify as a problem. The less you are identifying situations as problems, the less effect it has on you, and the less those things happen to you. Because like energy attracts like energy. At best, the majority of things that are happening are a minor inconvenience. And remember, there are no redundancies. Let's say it's early in the morning, you're on your way to work, and then you get a flat tire, right? Now you're like, I got this problem. No, you have an inconvenience. You were on your way somewhere, it stopped you or it slowed you down. Now you're going to be late, and now you have to make a phone call to your bosses you don't actually really want to make. What happened was that you were inconvenienced, but it wasn't a problem because you don't know what was on the other side of that drive without the flat tire. There are no redundancies. There could have been a car accident in front of you. There could have been some kind of carjacking in front of you. You have no idea. You could have ran over somebody's dog. I don't know, right? Like, there are no redundancies. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason behind everything, even when you don't have an ability to see it. Nothing is redundant. At best, you are inconvenienced, right? At best, you are slowed down. At best, you are stopped when you felt like moving. But just because that happened does not mean that there was a problem. Whatever the situation was, for whatever the reason, there is protection in there somewhere, because that's just how it works, right? But if you're going around identifying everything as a problem, then you're going to get problems. Like, we identify everything as a problem so much so that we actually believe that the more money you have, the more problems you have, instead of thinking the more money you have, the more resources you have access to in order to then deal with problems, right? Like, that's how attracted to a problem we actually are. But like, you have to define something as a problem. You have to look at something and say, oh, this is something I can't deal with. This is something that I will never overcome. But without that definition, everything that occurs in the experience is neutral. Nothing is a problem inherently by itself. It's your mindset. And when you are operating with the mindset that everything is hard and everything is a problem, then that is what will be reflected to you in your reality. Me and you can have the same reality with the same experience, with the same things occurring, but me thinking of things as an inconvenience and you thinking of things as a problem, me and you will have very different experiences with the reality, even though we're experiencing the same reality, right? When I had my health scare and I was in the hospital and I almost died, right? I remember being in a hospital and I remember being like in a very good mood. I was super upbeat, so much that the doctors and the nurses were starting to make comments about it. And they were like, wow, like, it's so nice to see that you're in such a good mood in spite of the circumstances, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, there's no problem here. Okay, I almost died, but I didn't. Like, the problem would have been my loved ones trying to figure out how to dispose of my body. That would have been the problem. But the fact that I made it here in time enough to be supported by a healthcare team and a team of healers who are able to patch me back together, that is nothing short of a blessing. So I can sit here in the hospital because I'm admitted and think, oh, my health, I have this problem. Or I can be like, thank God I'm in the hospital and I'm around a team of doctors that know what they're doing, because it really could have gone left. And apparently it had such an impact that eventually one of the nurses actually came back to me and she said to me, don't change your mindset. And I said, what are you talking about? And she was like, there is a very distinct difference around how people heal based on how they think. And I said, wow, tell me more. This is really, I know I've heard it, but you're a nurse, you're like an ER nurse. So tell me what you've seen, And she was like, people who come in like you heal a lot faster, a lot better, a lot stronger than people who come in with the idea of their health as a problem instead of their health as an opportunity for growth. When I walked in there, I was like, okay, this is definitely an inconvenience, because I did have other plans today because I went in on a Friday. And I actually had plans for that weekend. And so I remember feeling like, well, this is inconvenient. But like, my thing was like, but what an opportunity for growth. Now I can get information on my health. I'm surrounded by a team that can educate me on what to do and how to stay healthy. They can educate me on signs to look for in the future. I can use this as an opportunity to restart in terms of like how I handle diet, how I handle exercise. This is an opportunity to be a better version of myself. I can sit there and then beat myself up and be like, you're so stupid. How did you not see the signs? How did you not know something was wrong? Oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to pay for this? because one thing about the US and the hospital system is that you will be in the ER and they will bring in billing, right? So like I'm in the ER connected to a blood bag and they brought in billing. I swear to God, they rolled in the cart. This poor woman who was there to take payment, and I'm like hooked up to machines and things are beeping. And she looked at me and she went, "So what's going to be your payment method?" Oh God, the US system is so bad. It's so bad. But I was like, the card is in my purse, right? And then like, and it wasn't cheap, right? And I remember my husband, because he's from Korea where they have healthcare, and he was like, "Oh my God, like how much is that?" And I remember thinking to myself, I could be dead. That would be a problem, right? Like, this isn't a problem. Okay, so I'm spending some money that I didn't necessarily intend to spend, but there's an alternative, and the alternative is death, right? So, like, it's inconvenience. Right now, I'm inconvenienced. I had other plans. I didn't plan on spending money on this, right? But it's an inconvenience. It's not a problem, right? It's just an inconvenience. And one of the reasons why I got released when I did was because the doctor said to me, I'm not worried about you. And they specifically referenced my mood. They said, with your kind of mood, you're upbeat enough to keep yourself going. I'm not worried about you. Whereas there are like patients that they worried about because they're so in their head and their mindset is in such a gutter that they stay sick and they stay in the hospital. You heal quicker when your mind isn't doing that to you, when you're not identifying what's happening to you as a problem. Everything is an opportunity for growth. Everything that happens is just a mirror. It's a mirror showing you where you have been, but also offering you an opportunity to change for you to get to where you would prefer to go. But if you're not changing every time you're presented with those opportunities, and those opportunities are when you feel like you're being challenged in the situation, which is really at best just an inconvenience, right? Then you're going to keep going in the same direction, and then you're going to keep being presented with the same thing that feels like the same problem again and again and again and again when it's not a problem. Everything that occurs is neutral. Things are either positive or negative once you start assigning it something, once you start assigning it a meaning. And unfortunately, people assign the majority of things negative meanings. If you assign something as a problem, it will be a problem. If you assign something as an opportunity for growth, then it'll become an opportunity. You can make literally everything an opportunity. Everything. You can make everything work for you. I move through the world going, how do I make this work for me? The moment I start to feel like I'm like really sticky, like I'm really just like uncomfortable, right? Or I'm feeling challenged, my mind then goes, and it happens once I'm able to identify that that's what's going on. Once I establish that awareness, then my mind like clicks over and it goes, how do I make this work for me? Because everything is going to work for me. I am the creator. So that means everything is supposed to work for me. There are no redundancies. Everything is meant to benefit me. And we all have evidence of this. Like, think back to a season in your life where it was a hard time, right? It was a hard moment in your life. And then think about when you made it to the other side of that season and you said to yourself, I now understand why that happened. I'm better off on the other side. But if it wasn't for that thing that happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. That thing had to occur for me to be where I am today. So even when we feel like we are in the depths of hell, we still recognize when we come out on the other side that it benefited us. What if you went into every situation with the immediate assumption that it's going to benefit you from the jump, instead of feeling like everything is out to get you? You would be amazed at how fast you move through situations. You move through what you feel like is a problem or you feel like is a challenge. You only sit there for long periods of time because it's your mindset. The moment you allow yourself to go, oh, this is supposed to benefit me, right? or I lost something in order for something to come in. This left my life so I can have this incoming opportunity, because there are no redundancies. The moment your mind clicks over and you remember that that's what's happening, you move through those sticky periods a lot faster. You don't spend as much time in them as you do when you are actively viewing your situation as a problem. When you are in a space where you're actively like, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, suddenly those moments feel very, very long. They feel like it's like never ending, and you feel like you can't get out of it, and you don't know why it's taking so long. It's because you've identified it as a problem. Like energy likes like energy. It's going to say, okay, well, that's what they're focused on, so we're going to give them more of that. That's what they're choosing to observe, so we're going to give them more of that to observe, right? But if you're like, no, this benefits me, all I have to do is figure out how, what can I learn in this particular moment? You move through the moment because the moment is now done. If you are in a situation with the person that's giving you a hard time and you stop and you say, where is the opportunity here? Oh, the opportunity is just for me to speak up for myself more, because I never do that. And then you speak up for yourself, then there is no situation left. It's done. It's solved. Because that was all that was supposed to happen. And that's meant to benefit you, because that is for your growth. That's for your expansion. Nothing is redundant. Things are only problems if you identify it as a problem. But if anything, what you're really experiencing is an inconvenience. And learn how to be like, oh, I just feel inconvenienced. I'm aggravated because I feel inconvenienced. I'm annoyed because I feel inconvenienced. I'm upset because I feel inconvenienced. I'm not upset because there's a problem. I just feel like I was moving towards something and I got stopped, and I feel inconvenienced by that. Not, oh, there's a problem, what am I going to do about it? No, I just feel inconvenienced. That's what's happening. So stop identifying everything as a problem. Right? Like I told him my dream car, but was finally free of that car payment and freed up my budget. See? Like something, and like that, because most people would identify that as a problem, right? You get into a car accident, you go, oh my God, right? But yeah, you freed up the money. Man, when I realized that I'm in control of how I react to things, taking accountability and owning my lessons, my life became more peaceful. It does become more peaceful. And it becomes more peaceful fast. Now, I will say, for anyone that feels like they're in the beginning stages of trying not to identify things as problems, it may take a bit of a minute in order to reframe, because what you're doing is a practice that you have the habit of doing. So because you're in the habit, what you're then doing is then breaking the habit and then creating a new habit. And so in the beginning, it may feel a little bit difficult, but with time, you'll notice that like you have less problems. Once you stop identifying things as problems, you have less problems. And then you also will notice that you will attract less situations to you that can be interpreted as a problem. Yes, girl, first world inconvenience is being sold as real world problems. I always have to check myself, right? I'm going up. I'm going up instead of down. I'm transitioning out of depression, being my full-time job. Ooh, that's so real. I felt that. It runs in the family. Transitioning out of seeing my trauma personally and generationally as the end all and be all. You know, that's so interesting you said that, because maybe like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, had a moment where I was like, okay, it's no longer my job to break a generational curse, right? Like, I'm not even totally sure that like generational curses are a thing. I think what it is just repeated patterns that we then hand down, and then somebody else picks up, and we think that we have to because the rest of the family does it. But because it's not working and we can see that it's not working, we then call it a curse. And then we have this thing like there's a curse on the family, and then we task one person to then break it, which, how selfish. Like, how terrible is it that it would be one person's job to then break a curse for a bunch of other people, when those people also have the power to make different choices? And I remember thinking to myself, oh, this is not my job. No. You go break your own curse. have anything to do with this. It took me a long time in my 20s to realize people like that are just internally miserable, and I couldn't take anything they say as offensive because it said more about them than it did about me. That is so true. Even with the person that I ran into, like, yeah, they are, I would say that they are offensive. But it's not even, it's one of those things where you look at them and that's where the compassion came from, where I was like, if I find you offensive, what are the offensive thought processes that are running internally? Like, what are the things that you are saying to yourself? Because I'm only going to get 20% of what you actually say to yourself, right? Like, I'm only going to get 20% of that. So I find that offensive. Then what are you really doing to yourself? I used to be like that. It took hearing a really bad story to change my Debbie Downer ways. I am not that person anymore, or at least try not to be. I think that is like, that's the journey. You know, I think that, like, I think these days I'm a lot more upbeat than I used to be. I used to take pride in, like, being a pessimist. And I called it realism. I would say I'm just being a realist when really I was just a Debbie Downer and I was a pessimist. And I took pride in the fact that at least I saw the real world and at least I knew what it was really like. And when people, like, when I would meet people that were more upbeat and more optimistic, I used to be like, oh, they're just so, they're so naive. They're so ignorant. Like, I definitely used to have that. And then one day I was like, oh, I'm the problem. Oh, that's me. I'm the problem. Like, oh no. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. It was something that was, like, really sitting on my heart. If you have been having your experiences that have felt sticky recently, or you feel like you are being challenged in any particular kind of way, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe what you're going through is just an inconvenience, right? Maybe you were moving in a certain direction. Maybe you thought something would work out in a certain way. Maybe you had certain expectations, and maybe it just didn't do what you wanted it to do, right? And so now you're inconvenienced, but maybe it's not a problem because there are no redundancies. There's nothing that happens for no reason. And there's always some form of protection in every experience that you have. So just want to offer that perhaps there is another way that you can actually look at things. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Spirit told me to say it, and so I said it. Okay? Anyway, that's all I actually have to say. There's actually nothing coming in. That's all I want, I guess. Anyway, if you want, because what time is it? It's 8:10. If you want, I can stick around for a few minutes and we can do Q&A. And if not, then that's fine too. I'll just go have my Friday. You are so welcome, you guys. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. It is absolutely, I'm going to hit you with the Chick-fil-A. My pleasure. You know? Good. All right, guys. Well, then if no one has any questions, then I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna go have my Friday. You guys enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.